What if I told you the US government isn't actually fixing its debt problem? It's playing a high-stakes game of financial hot potato with your future. Seriously, the national debt? It sounds like some boring number only economists care about, right? Wrong. This isn't just abstract math. This is about your wallet, your job, the cost of your groceries, and the world your kids are going to inherit. We're talking trillions, folks. Trillions. And the truth about how it's handled? It's mind-blowing. Here's exactly how the US manages to stay afloat without ever truly getting rid of the debt, and why you need to understand it. Alright, first up, let's bust a myth. Most people think the goal is to pay off the national debt. Nope, that's not the game. The game is managing it, making sure it doesn't totally implode the system. So how do they do it? One big one is by printing money. Yeah, you heard me. The Federal Reserve, our central bank, can literally create money out of thin air. When the government needs to borrow, it issues bonds, basically IOUs. And who buys a ton of these IOUs? The Federal. They create new money by the bonds, and boom, the government has cash. Now, you might be thinking, hold on a second, isn't that just cheating? Well, in a way it is, but it keeps the wheels turning. This is often called quantitative easing, or QE. It sounds fancy, but it just means the Fed is buying up government debt. But here's the kicker. Where does all that new money go? It dilutes the value of the money already out there. That's inflation, my friends. Your dollar buys less. So, while the government's debt might stay the same in dollar terms, the real value of that debt shrinks over time because of inflation. It's like having a $20 bill in 1980 versus a $20 bill today. Same number, vastly different purchasing power. So, in a twisted way, inflation helps manage the debt by making it cheaper to pay back in real terms. It's a silent tax on your savings, on your wages, on everything you buy. Then there's the whole kicking the can down the road maneuver. Every time we hit the debt ceiling, Congress has a big, dramatic fight. Then they raise it. It's like maxing out your credit card, then calling the bank and asking for a higher limit instead of paying it off. We've been doing this for decades. It's not a solution, it's a delay tactic. They postpone the difficult decisions about spending cuts or tax increases for future politicians to deal with. And guess what? Those future politicians do the exact same thing. But why do people even let them do this? And why does the world keep buying our debt? Well, a huge part of it is the US dollar status as the world's reserve currency. For decades, global trade, oil, you name it, it's all priced in dollars. Countries around the world need dollars to do business, so they stash away vast amounts of them. And what's the safest, most liquid place to put those dollars? US Treasury bonds. So there's always a massive, consistent demand from foreign governments, central banks, and big investors for US debt. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of demand. China, Japan, they all hold trillions in US debt. It gives the US this exorbitant privilege. We can borrow cheaply because everyone needs our currency. Another key tactic? Keeping interest rates low. When the government borrows, it has to pay interest on that debt. If interest rates are low, the cost of servicing that massive debt is manageable, even if the principal amount is huge. The Fed plays a major role here, influencing those rates. But there's a delicate balance. If rates go too high, the interest payments alone could cripple the budget, leaving no money for anything else. So, they try to walk this tightrope, keeping rates low enough to keep debt servicing costs down, but not so low that inflation spirals completely out of control. It's a constant juggling act. Think of it like this. You owe a buddy $1,000. Instead of paying him back, you just keep borrowing more from other friends to pay the interest on the first loan, and then borrowing more to pay the interest on those loans. As long as people keep lending you money and you can make the interest payments, you're fine. But you're never actually reducing what you owe. And let's be real, the political reality is tough. No politician wants to be the one who slashes popular programs or significantly raises taxes. Those are career enders. So, it's always easier to agree on more spending and more borrowing. It's a bipartisan problem, folks. Both sides contribute to it because the incentives are aligned with short-term gains and avoiding painful decisions. It's a consensus to defer. What happens when inflation does get out of control? or if global confidence in the dollar starts to wobble. These are the real risks of this debt management strategy. We saw a taste of it recently, and it wasn't pretty. The problem isn't that the debt will suddenly default in the traditional sense. It's that the currency itself could be eroded so much that your purchasing power is destroyed. That's the insidious, long-term threat of this strategy. But here's the ultimate twist, something most people entirely miss. The very act of managing this debt, of kicking the can and printing money, isn't just a political game. It's actually a silent, slow transfer of wealth from you to the government and to those who benefit from asset inflation. You're not just an observer in this. You're an unwitting participant who pays the price. So, the big takeaway here? The US isn't trying to eliminate its debt. It's engineered a system to perpetuate it, to roll it over, to inflate it away, and to rely on global demand for its currency. It's not about a sudden default or a movie-style economic collapse. It's about a gradual, almost invisible erosion of your purchasing power and a constantly growing burden on future generations. This isn't a problem they're fixing. It's a problem they've learned to live with. And in doing so, they've passed the true cost on to us. Understanding this isn't about doomsaying. It's about being informed. It's about knowing how the economic levers are actually pulled behind the scenes and what that means for your daily life. The national debt isn't just a number. It's a complex, living beast that shapes our economy in ways we rarely appreciate. And now, you know a lot more about how it's tamed, not killed. If this video opened your eyes a bit, hit that like button. Seriously, it helps the channel a ton. Let me know in the comments. What do you think about how the US handles its debt? Is it sustainable?